before I forget. Welcome everyone to the series of lectures on quality management. This series of lectures will be given by Dr. Iman Rabah, which is the Dean of Quality Management at the Modern University for Business and Science in Lebanon. We are very glad to have her here to talk about topics on quality management in our masters in Diοίκηση, Τεχνολογία, and Ποιότητα. As well, she will be giving 2 lectures for the Educational Leadership and Policy Masters. Those lectures will take place on Wednesday and Friday, and they will be more geared towards the intersection of education and quality management. If you are interested in those topics, I encourage you to attend those lectures as well. But the topics that she will be covering in the lectures addressed at the students in the DTP program are more traditional questions regarding quality management. In particular, her first talk will be on total quality management, like broad presentation of the concept and the different models. And on Thursday, she will be talking about the implementation of quality, total quality management in different sectors. So I think it will be in general very interesting for you to get a feeling and see how the concepts you are seeing in the context of the lectures that you follow in the program, how they get applied in different contexts and in different sectors. Without further ado, I will pass the microphone to Dr. Rabah, who will give a brief introduction about herself, and then we will start the lecture. Please raise your hand to ask questions, as usual, the same we usually do it, or type your questions in the chat, and I will read them here. You can even type them in Greek if you so prefer, and I will translate the questions to Professor Rabah for her to answer. Let's try to make this presentation as interactive as possible. Professor Rabah, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yep. And maybe we need to open it from here. So
your microphone is open.
Yep. Okay. So hello everyone. Thank you so much for having me in the Open University of Cyprus. I'm going to start by giving a brief about myself. So my doctorate is in education from the British University in Dubai in association with Birmingham University, UK. I did a thesis about quality management and specifically in higher education, and created a new quality management model for universities in Dubai, and it's applicable in different regions of the world. My main research interest is in pedagogical research, especially at higher education level, in quality management, of course, higher education leadership, and I have a special interest in research methods and specifically in paradox theory and building models from different models and paradox theory. I'm a reviewer for different journals, but I'm also an editor for Sage journal. And for my experience, I have administrative working experience in higher education, as well as academic experience. I have experience mainly in Dubai, in University of Wollongong in Dubai. And now I'm the Dean of Quality Assurance at the Modern University of Business and Science. I also worked for the American University of Dubai as an assistant professor and the University of Wolverhampton in Dubai as well. And I'm currently an associate professor at MUBS. I'd also like to give you a brief about MUBS. MUBS is the Modern University for Business and Science. It is a private university in Lebanon that is so active in internationalization and the Erasmus Plus program in terms of exchange of students and professors. And this gives us an opportunity to know students from different backgrounds, different places of the world, and help in the cross-cultural interaction between students. We have 6 campuses all over Lebanon. And in addition to internationalization, through Erasmus Plus, we're affiliated with Stanford University in USA and Cardiff Metropolitan University in UK, and with the Staffordshire University and Princeton University in USA as well. And we are accredited by a European accreditation, by VALAG accreditation. We are first in Lebanon in terms of THE Impact Ranking SDG 4, which is quality education. And also we're 51st in the world and the first in Lebanon in gender equality in SDG 5 in terms of the number of female students and staff we have at the university. We are so active in community service. We have a wellness network called the National Wellness Network, where we provide services for students, for elderly people, and we conduct research about the community. Our research impact is really important in Lebanon due to the cases that we study and due to the research that we provide about our community. Okay. This is the agenda of our lecture for today. We're going to talk about quality management and its benefits and its challenges. But before that, I got the chance to introduce myself to you. It would be really great if you can introduce yourselves to me. Maybe we can go like one by one to know you more. It would be great if you can tell me your name, and what was your bachelor degree in, and what is your career field? What are you working in right now, the organization or the career field that you are working in? So this will help me to customize the lecture more into the industry that you work in or the career field that you belong to. So maybe we can start by Andreas, and please correct me if I pronounce your name wrong. So I'm going by alphabetical order as it shows the participants on our screen. So Andreas, would you please introduce yourself? So your name is Andreas. What was your bachelor degree in, and what is your career in?
Good evening. My name is Andreas Kyprianou. My bachelor's degree is... Hello, do you hear me?
Just a minute, please. Just a minute. Give me a second.
Αναλαμβάνει, σε παρακαλώ.
Andreas, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Can you please repeat, because we had an issue here?
Yeah, of course. My name is Andreas Kyprianou. My bachelor's background is in mechanical engineering, and I'm currently in a quality management position in a manufacturing company here in Cyprus, dealing with manufacturing plastic pipes and fittings.
Okay. Thank you, Andreas. Nice meeting you. Lazaros, please. Lazaros, can you hear us? Okay, we're going to move on to Mary.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
My name's Mary. I'm fine. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
I've just finished the Masters of Educational Policy, Management and Policy at the university. I'm working as a teacher currently at a private English school. So I thought I'd come and see what was happening today.
Yeah, you're most welcome. So you work here as an English teacher in Cyprus?
A primary teacher.
Primary teacher in a Cyprus school?
Yes.
In a school in Cyprus, yes.
In an English school, but in Cyprus.
Okay. And I definitely invite you for tomorrow's lecture, which is specialized and it's more customized about educational leadership in terms of quality management. I'd
Fantastic.
like to have you also tomorrow, and all of you, of course, but this is tomorrow, it's more about education. Okay.
Great. Thank you.
Mikhail. Thank you, Mary. Welcome to the class. Mikhail, yeah. Mikhail, can you hear us? Okay, so Lazarus and Mikhail, whenever you're ready and you'd like to introduce yourselves to us, please feel free. Okay, or raise your hand, yeah, and then we'll give you the mic. Stavri.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Dr. Rabah. I'm a chemical engineer, and I work as the regulatory affairs manager at the pharmaceutical company here in Cyprus.
Okay. Nice meeting you. Nice meeting you, in fact.
You too.
Stavros.
Thank you.
Stavri. Okay, Stavros, now please next. Stavros, would you please introduce yourself to us? Okay, so whenever you're ready, Stavros. Aristides.
Hello, I'm
Hello.
Aristides.
Hello.
I'm also a mechanical engineer. And I am working in an aluminum extrusion factory in Greece, in the Department of Quality Assurance.
Okay, interesting. So we have a lot to discuss today.
Yes.
Okay. Nice meeting you. Alexandra.
Hello.
Hello.
I am a primary teacher. I'm from Greece, and I'm here to learn.
Okay. Nice meeting you. I also recommend that you attend tomorrow's lecture as well. It would be really beneficial in addition to this one, of course.
I plan to. Thank you.
Okay, nice meeting you. And next is Constantine. Constantina, please. Constantina, would you like to introduce yourself? Or just raise your hand whenever you're ready to go for introducing yourself. And next, Petros. Petros, would you like to introduce yourself?
Some people don't have a working microphone. So...
No problem. I'm just giving a chance for you to introduce yourself if you'd like to. Otherwise, if you'd like to send us in the chat what is your working experience or your career field in, that would be also good. And who's next? Okay. Okay. Welcome to the class again. So as you see, we have
comment from Lazarus.
Okay, Lazarus.
Bachelor in Science in Business Administration, and he works in communication.
Okay, in communication, Lazarus. Okay, that's great. Nice meeting you all. I'm happy to have you in this session. As you can see, we are all coming back from different backgrounds, and we're all attending a lecture about quality management. So this gives us an idea that quality management is applicable to different industries, to different areas and realms in research. I'd like to start by telling you how quality started. In fact, the concept of quality is an old concept. It goes back to the ancient China, and basically specifically to the Western Zhou dynasty in the 11th century. The word quality in that time and in their language was mainly to look at a control system for handicraft production. So since handicraft production, there was always a question about the quality, to what extent the quality is good or bad. Now, if we want to talk about the new modern or the modern period, quality started as quality control in the late 19th century. And simply, it started by looking for defects in order to take corrective action, looking for defects to remove these defects or to correct them, like a factory that would be producing, for example, aluminum, let's say, or chairs or computers or whatever. After the manufacturing process, they used to do the inspection, and they look for these defects and they remove these defects or they take corrective action in order to correct them. And then the question came, why wouldn't we avoid defects before they happen? Like, instead of producing the products, manufacturing whatever products we are doing, and then looking for defects or looking for mistakes or the problems or the wrong products, let's try to avoid these defects. And this is actually how it started. It started as quality assurance. Like, the concept was quality control, looking for defects and finding them after production. And then they moved to quality assurance. We have someone here who sent a message, it seems.
Yeah, it's Petros Kukuru. He tells us that he holds a bachelor's degree in electronic engineering and he's currently studying business administration, working in a forex industry, technical part of a forex industry.
Okay. Thank you, Petros. Nice meeting you as well. So we were saying that quality control started to improve, and they started to think we have to avoid defects before they happen. Let's not have defects and remove them. And here the term changed from quality control to quality assurance. And that's why you find in some companies, the quality department is still called quality control department, quality control manager, or quality control director, where they do the inspection and the checking. And most of these companies, they change the title into quality assurance, where they have to work on improvements in the production stream and in the manufacturing process at the time where it was still in manufacturing. As you see here, I'm introducing quality management and I'm limiting it to manufacturing because here where quality started and quality management started. The quality assurance was a step forward, a development of quality control. But the problem with quality assurance was that it was so limited when it comes to human capacity and personal growth. It means that the management, they were so tough with the employees or with the staff. And this limited the human capacity. This limited personal growth. People were not so happy here. People were treated here as in one of Jordan's explanation, who is a quality guru, that people were treated here more like machines who are not allowed to do mistakes. They considered that let's avoid defects. It means people, you're not allowed to do mistakes. So it was a bit bureaucratic. It was a bit against human development and personal growth. Because of this reason, the total quality management concept actually came up. And they started thinking that, okay, instead of focusing and forcing people not to do mistakes, let's have a management system, a way to manage the organization. And here we're still talking in manufacturing, by focusing on 7 main points. And the person who initiated this concept, if I want to tell you this as a story, was Edward Deming. So he said, don't be tough with people and force them not to avoid or not to do mistakes, not to do defects. However, if you have a proper management system, automatically there will be no defects. Automatically the quality would be high. And he said, there are 7 keywords that we have to focus on to avoid defects or to raise the quality. Customers, leadership, teamwork, empowerment, corporate culture, strategic objectives, and continuous improvement. These are the main principles of quality management, and gradually we will go through them and talk to them about them in more details. However, those who are experts in quality management, who are studying quality management here with us and who are working as in quality departments, I'd like to ask here, when we say customers, what did Deming, the person who initiated the quality management, mean here? Did he mean the customers who buy the products only, or who does the word customers include as well? What do you think? Let's see.
Maybe you want to repeat the question.
So the question again, maybe Andreas, you work in quality management and in manufacturing. When you focus on your customers, when you think of customers in quality management, do you only focus on those who buy your products, if we're talking about pipes, since you're working in manufacturing of pipes, as you said?
Not only on the customers, but the whole system behind until the product is being received by the customer.
What about employees and staff? Are they considered as important as external customers in your organization?
Yes, they are.
They are. Yes, absolutely. If you have a quality department in the organization and you apply the total quality management, customers are number one. And what Deming insisted on, saying that employees are internal customers. Even when you read Deming's articles and books, he always refers to employees and staff who work for the company as internal customers, because according to Deming, the founder of quality management, customers are always right. You should work with the perception that customers are always right. And that's why he put employees and the staff under the category of customers. He said, okay, listen, we have internal customers who are the employees and external customers. And because both are customers, you should satisfy both of them. Not only the external customers who buy the products and who pay for you, but also those who are internal, the employees. Because if internal customers are happy, then external customers are happy as well. And a good example would be familiar to all of us here, that many times we go to a restaurant, for example, and although the food is good, although the ambient is nice, although the place is fancy, although we like it, sometimes we don't come back as customers, maybe because the attitude of the waiter or the waitress is not that positive. And you can tell sometimes from the attitude of the waiter if he's happy at work or not. He's an employee. If he's happy, if he's satisfied, you can feel that. You can feel the way he welcomes you at a restaurant or in a hospital, in any service sector. So the satisfaction and happiness of this employee or internal customer would reflect on the external customer. Because if he's not happy and he's not showing this positive attitude, sometimes we don't come back to try the experience again or to try the service again. So that's why they're really related. Leadership is so important, and leadership here, if compared to management, how would you describe it? If you want to give me a brief difference between leadership and management, who would like to give us his or her opinion here? They always say some leaders or some managers, they tell you where to go. However, others, they go with you. They hold your hand and they tell you, let's go together. Who is that person who holds your hand as an employee and tell you, let's explore together, let's improve together, let's go together to the next step? Would it be a manager or a leader, in your opinion?
So the comment, it says management deals with the current situation, leader connected to the future, says Stavros. Says the leader is thinking out of the box.
Yeah.
And Andreas, you can open your microphone if you like.
Yeah, please feel free. Let's have the discussion. There is no right or wrong. You may give us a lot of information from your experience in the area that you work in, and let's have this as a discussion where we can both and all of us benefit from each other's experience. So please feel free to discuss and give your opinion. Yes, Andreas.
Well, from my experience, what we've seen up to now, a leader is the one who would explore, as you said, new fields and new ideas with his or her employees. And the manager is the person who would mainly follow the rules as they are, try to be in between the boundaries as they are.
Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely right. And you also, all those who gave their opinion, they gave a very good explanation of the difference between a leader and a manager. There are full courses about the difference between leadership and management, and the difference between a leader and management and a manager. Sometimes they say that a manager is a person who always tells people what to do. A leader is the person who empowers people and the employees. And when we say people in quality management, we always mean employees. They are the people of the company. He empowers them. He gives them empowerment more than delegation. Sometimes they would say that managers think themselves they are so good when they delegate tasks, but they can even take it further from that and not only delegate, but also empower people. Because in delegation, the main difference, in fact, in delegation, the manager or the leader would tell you what to do, and he will also tell you how to do it. So they give you like guidelines, and you have to abide by the guidelines and to do whatever is requested from you. However, in empowerment, and this is more into leadership than management, they tell you what should be done, but they keep the decision for you as employees to decide how to do it. They don't tell you how to do it. Like a target, for example, if you have a certain target of sales, they tell you that this is the target, but they tell you how to achieve they leave you to decide how to achieve the target, more than in management and the direct supervision and the micromanagement. Okay, teamwork. Teamwork is essential in quality management because in teamwork, they all have one vision. The employees with the middle managers and the upper management, they all have one vision that they want to achieve, and they work together for this vision. Teamwork in quality management is much more than collaboration between people and having a nice corporate culture. It is more of having one vision, one direction, where all people work in order to achieve it. So that's why it is something that is highly recommended. That takes us to the, I'm gonna use this, okay. So it takes us to the,
There was a little problem with the internet.
okay, with teamwork, we said teamwork and empowerment. So teamwork helps in empowerment and corporate culture as well. Yeah, this is what I'm trying to tell you. So the corporate culture is essential according to Deming. It is the ambient that you work in. According to him, if you want to help your employees produce a good product, try to create a nice, a collaborative, a culture that is based on teamwork. So to that extent, he links high quality and productivity to management and to the culture. And the most important point that I would see here in total quality management is continuous improvement. Continuous improvement, according to Deming, is a cycle. Like you can never reach high quality or the highest quality. If you say that I'm providing the highest quality, if this is the peak, if this is the highest point that you feel you're achieving in your work, it means that you will start going down. You will start dwindling in the performance because you can't keep the status quo. You can't stay at the same place. At work, we keep moving. Even at a personal level, if you think about it in your performance, at a personal performance level, you keep moving either upwards or downwards. Sometimes we keep the same pace, but we barely do that. Either we are performing, if we keep it the same, it will automatically start going down gradually. So he says, don't say that you're doing the best because it means that you're starting, after that you'll move downwards. So you keep moving up, you keep improving. So what we can sum up what we've been talking through this lecture so far. I know that you're studying quality management and you're familiar with the quality management concept, but always think about it that it started as quality control, moved to quality assurance, and then the total quality management principle came up with these 7 main points that any organization or any person want to apply total quality management, they should think that we cannot take out any of these points to have a full total quality management concept. Now, my question is, do you all agree that these points are important and lead to high quality, or it's exaggerating? It's nice to discuss and to have critical thinking, and this is what we do in research if you conduct research or small projects in your assignments. From a critical perspective, listening to me talking about these and promoting these principles, in fact, because I'm a researcher who believes in these, but this is not necessarily the right thing. Maybe someone would tell me, for example, Aristides would tell me, okay, I'm a mechanical engineer and I work in the quality assurance department, and I find that empowering people is not positive and will not always lead to something good. So this is called the critical thinking. You may not be right or wrong, and I may not be right or wrong, but let's share experience.
So I'm going to make a poll, actually, first to see how many they think that all these principles are crucial.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we have added a poll. You can just click on the poll to see how you are feeling about this. It will give us an idea.
Yeah.
Can you see the poll?
Yes, I have 3 answers so far. 4 yes, 0 no. Please, if you have any objection or you feel that in your experience not all these points are important or they work, please feel free to discuss and to critically analyze what we're talking about. Okay, so far all of you agree that these are important, and I'm happy to see that some of you work in quality assurance, some of you work in education, some in the pharmaceutical industry, and you see that they are important. So it seems, yes, the idea is still it's still right. The concept is still right. Maybe in our next lecture we will be introducing something else, saying that these are the problems of total quality management, and the new concept is being created, and a modification in the model has been done. Okay.
There is a comment by Lazarus. I'm going to show the response from the poll, but you can read the comment from Lazarus. You see it, right?
Yeah.
So do you want to read it out loud for?
Let me check. Okay, so in some contexts, they might be prioritized differently, of course. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, this is true. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you need to customize the model that you have. And this is a very important advantage. What you've mentioned, Lazarus, is really important. not only prioritizing these principles, even the model that you create for total quality management, because now I'm going to review with you, if you studied these models, different models in quality management. And what's important here, and what's Lazarus mentioning, is that we shouldn't take or the model as is and apply it. For example, Deming, our next slide is about Deming. Deming's model, let's say. Okay, he has different models: plan, do, check, act, a theory of profound knowledge, the 14 points of Deming. But someone would say, okay, I'll take this model of Deming, but I'm going to modify it to fit into the context of the organization that I work in. Same goes for the 7 principles of quality management. You can prioritize them. You can think of what is most important for me and what works for the culture of my company and the products that I'm producing if I am in manufacturing. Okay. Edward Deming. As students who you are taking quality management courses, can someone give me a brief about Edward Deming? We said Edward Deming started the total quality management. A good question would be here, is he the person who named this concept total quality management? Do you know if he is the person who named it as total quality management? Okay, I don't know if you've studied this or you passed through this while reading about Deming, but although Edward Deming is known that he is the person who created total quality management, but in fact, he is not the person who named it as total quality management. He named it quality management, but exactly the person who compiled the concept and named it as quality management is Feigenbaum, is one of the quality gurus. He's Feigenbaum. Okay. In one of the articles that I read for Deming, he says everyone considered that I developed the concept of total quality management, although I hate the name total quality management. It was so weird to read that, because whenever you say total quality management, it is referred to Edward Deming. He said, no, I didn't say that it should be named total quality management. It's quality management. But everyone knows that the concept refers back to him. And by the way, do you know the nationality of Edward Deming? It's written here somewhere, American. Yeah, he is American. American, yes, American. He is American, but when he created the quality management concepts, they didn't agree with him in States. The companies that he was working in didn't agree that they should move from quality control to total quality management. So he had to travel to Japan. In Japan, they adopted his concepts. In Japan, they really believed in his theories. And this is the period, according to some researchers, this is the period that helped Japanese companies to overcome American companies, especially in the car industry. Like Toyota, they fully adopted total quality management, and Edward Deming was working for them as a statistician who used to do the quality control and the quality assurance, and he initiated having a total quality management focusing on people and people satisfaction. And again, when I say people, it means employees, and the full management system and strategic planning to be integrated into the system, and the vision and the training and all of that based on the 7 principles. And at that time, these Japanese companies became much more better than American companies. They were competing with them and they overcome them. And at that time, they overcame them. And at this stage, when Deming proved his success in Japan, he was asked to join American companies, and he came back to America as consultant to different companies, where at that time he started proving himself, and his theories were adopted in the States. But first, it wasn't accepted. He first started in Japan, in fact. Okay. Plan, do, check, act. Who can help me to explain this slide? The main model of Deming cycle, or it's called Shewhart cycle or PDCA cycle. What do you think? Have you studied this model? Andreas, Aristides, Alexandra, what do you think? Petros, I'm sure these people have their mics open, that's why I'm calling them by name. You can give your opinion by mic or typing. Sabri.
Yeah, it's a four-step management method used for continuous improvement. First, we start with planning. It involves identifying the problem or an opportunity for improvement. Then we are moving to the next step, which is a do, where the plan is put into action and identified further areas for improvement.
Absolutely, yes.
Then we move forward to check. Once the changes have been implemented, then the next step is to evaluate their effectiveness. And last one is the acting step, where the results of the check phase, we're checking actually if the objectives have been met and the changes have been successfully implemented.
Absolutely, yes. Thank you, Stavri. This is absolutely right. So in the pharmaceutical industry where you work in, do you apply quality management? Do you use something similar? Or you use it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We have also the quality assurance department who is responsible for,
Okay, interesting. So mainly the planning starts with the processes and the what you plan to implement, and even strategic planning can go under the planning part, because it's like when you set the whole system, okay, that this is the strategy, these are the goals, the strategy is cascaded to all the strategies of different departments, policies and procedures are created, processes are there, and here Deming insists on documentation, because when you document, you can find the gaps later. And then the implementation happens, but it's very important, the inspection stage, as Stavri said, where you look for defects here, you look for gaps here, you look for areas of improvement here, and maybe it happens by looking for by KPIs, looking for end results that you are seeking, checking if they are implemented properly or not, looking for feedback, surveys from external customers or internal customers, all the inspection of the implementation stage. And then the act happens again, where you take corrective actions, and sometimes it may be a change in a policy, a rule or a regulation, sometimes a review for the strategy of the whole company. And if you keep doing this and keep going through this cycle, then you keep improving. Because as we said, one of the main principles of Deming is continuous improvement. So this should keep going in order to maintain continuous improvement. In addition to the PDCA cycle, Deming also focuses on the system of profound knowledge. I'm focusing on Deming because he's the founder of quality management. And as students studying quality management, most of you here, it's nice to be very familiar with these. We have some people who are teachers and who are attending the lecture for the sake of gaining knowledge, which means that you are not necessarily familiar with the quality management model. So it's good also that we are giving this summary about quality management, so you know what we are talking about and you know what model we are exploring tonight. Okay, the system for profound knowledge, in addition to the 7 main principles of quality management that Deming focused on, In addition to the continuous improvement PDCA cycle, he also said there are 4 main points you shouldn't forget and you should always do at work. And please, if you have a different opinion or you find these 4 points are not important, feel free to stop me and to tell me or to give your opinion, or if you want to emphasize on their importance and significance. Okay. First of all, he said appreciation for a system. You should have a system. And when he means in a system here, he means that you should have a clear structure, a clear strategy, a clear processes, procedures, policies. And he always insists on documenting the system, because to many companies, they would tell you, you would go and ask them about policies. They would tell you, we don't have any single policy. But policies regulate the work. Procedures explain how the work should be done. And Deming also says, in addition to procedures and policies, you should have processes, even your daily processes. He is a researcher who insists on documentation, and this is one of the challenges of quality management, and this is one of the areas that is criticized within the critique of quality management, because they would say it's very time consuming. Like, even if you work in a call center, you should document your process. First we do this, second we do this, third we ask the client or the caller these questions and so on. But his argument is that when you document these points, you find the gaps, because sometimes you would say, okay, this step is useless, I have to remove it from my process, which makes sense in a way or another. You may have a different opinion. Please let me know when I finish this slide your opinion. Understanding variation, it means defects. You have to have policies or rules, you have to have standards, and understand why the variation happened in order to take corrective action. This overlaps a bit with the PDCA cycle. Theory of knowledge, to him, knowledge is so important. You should know what you're doing. You should, and this is part of describing a system and describing it through having knowledge about the process and having the right people doing the right job. To him, the knowledge and the knowledge power and the expertise in an area is so important. And most importantly, he always focuses on psychology. And when we say psychology here, is what people feel, or employees, toward their work. Are they intrinsically motivated or are they extrinsically motivated? Do they have fear? Are they doing the work because they're afraid if they don't get the work done, what are the consequences of not doing the work? Or they're doing it because they're happy doing it and they're satisfied with their job and they're excited about achieving the goals and the vision of the company. Do they have pride in their work? How many times you ask people, what do you do? And they try to run away from answering because they may be shy of what they're doing. So this is pride. Stavros is saying, while it may require some upfront time investment, thorough documentation ultimately contributes to more efficient practices, leading to long-term benefits. So yes, absolutely. Stavros, you agree that documentation is important, but yes, it is an investment. It is time consuming, but it is part of having the whole cycle and the whole principles achieved. Do you all agree with all these 4 points that they are important, or you have different point of view? If you have a different point of view, please let me know. In addition to that, okay, it seems that you agree with Deming. It's very important to keep having this critical eye. At MBA level, you should always, whatever you're reading, even you're reading, you are a quality management, pure quality management, doing a pure quality management program. I know your program is mixed up, but even you're doing pure quality management, you can disagree with Deming, the founder of quality management, because this helps in developing the literature, and this critical analysis helps in getting your opinion heard and getting your voice heard. Okay, what is the difference between intrinsic motivation and extrinsic motivation? we mentioned here that people should be motivated intrinsically and extrinsically, both. So how do we motivate people, and what's the difference? Any idea? Maybe Alexandra, you're a teacher, and we use this a lot of in education, using intrinsically versus extrinsic versus intrinsic motivation for students in the classroom. Do you think of these two concepts, and which one do you focus on in teaching? Okay, I'll explain it more if you have challenge in understanding it from an English perspective. So intrinsic motivation is, I'll give you an example and you can relate. For example, you're attending this class because you're intrinsically motivated to attend this lecture with Iman Rabah, okay? Or about quality management. It means you're attending it because you want to know more, okay? As Alexandra said. Extrinsic motivation is you're attending this class because attendance for the class is mandatory, or because you want to show your professors that you're attending, but you're not really caring of what is being discussed. Or you're attending this class because it will help you to get an A in the course that it belongs to, or you attend the classes for this sake. So those students who attend the classes to get a good grade are extrinsically motivated. Those who attend to learn are intrinsically. We have a comment from...
Because she's not that fluent in English, so that's why she's not...
It's really because I don't speak fluently. Okay, no problem. Yeah, so I explained it for you. Okay, no problem. So yeah, intrinsic motivation versus extrinsic motivation. This is the difference. And Deming is saying motivate them in both ways. Let people come to work because they want to work. Let them do their work well because they want to do that. And at the same time, extrinsically, it means in salaries, in allowances, in rewards, and recognition. This is the mix of intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation. Anyone would like to give a comment before we move forward? And you can ask me questions. I prefer that we take the questions and the comments as we move, and then I'll take also further questions at the end. But to keep the discussion going on, please feel free to stop me, interrupt me, ask questions, or give any comment that you'd like to share with us. These are the 14 points of Deming. He's also known for these 14 points. He said that we should have a mission for the company, starting with strategy, vision, and mission. Let people learn the new philosophy. Let them understand that the organization applies TQM and apply it. If there is inspection, let them know why the inspection is going on, so they don't disagree about the inspection. And don't focus on price. Don't always focus what income you will get from this work, or what budget you have to put for this work, or what resources. Focus more on the results that you will get. Training is always important. Improving, continuous improvement. Leadership, if people don't have leadership skills, they are managers, teach them how to have leadership skills. And let fear be out of your company. Don't create fear among staff. Teamwork, don't eliminate exhortations. It means don't make people tired of their work. Don't overwhelm them. And by the way, this is a debatable point that I'd like to discuss it with you. Do you know that Deming is against MBOs? Although all researchers in quality management, they talk about MBOs, having MBOs. And I'm the Dean of Quality in a university in Lebanon, MUBS, and I agree with Deming on many points, but we have MBOs. So, and Deming said, don't use MBOs. Other researchers say use MBOs. MBO stands for Management by Objectives. For those who are not from a quality management background with us, management by objectives, it means as a manager, you ask your employees to set the objectives they want to achieve for the next 6 months or 1 year, it depends. And they write them down. For the sake of empowerment, they write them down. You don't write them for the employees. And after that, the evaluation or the appraisal is based on these objectives. After that, the manager would call the employee and say, okay, these are your objectives. Have you achieved them? Not. If not, why? What can we support you as an organization to achieve these objectives? Are you a person who agree with MBOs or not? Maybe this is worth having a poll for. So MBOs, Deming said, no, don't do this. Don't create MBOs. People, they don't need to have objectives too. And you know why? Because he said, even they have objectives, they will be limited to these objectives. Like they will have, for example, 5 objectives to achieve in the next 6 months or year, and they will only do these objectives, they will focus to them. He said people should be innovative. Don't limit them to certain objectives. Let them be creative and innovative and have a lot of things to do and to improve in their work. They may go beyond and farther than these objectives. So if you agree, please select yes. If you don't agree with having MBOs, please select no. So shall we ask people to have certain objectives to achieve in a certain period of time? Or shall we leave them with no objectives because they may have more creativity and innovative than being limited with certain objectives? Okay, so far we have 5 responses and they all say that they are with MBOs. Okay. Thank you so much for giving your opinion. In fact, yes, if you ask me, do you agree with MBOs? I would tell you, I'm against MBOs, but I'm applying MBOs in the model that I'm working in. And why? Because yes, we have to customize, as we've just said, and as Petros said, that sometimes, and Lazarus, in fact, you said that sometimes we need to prioritize. We're prioritizing having MBOs at the university that I'm working in right now, and I'm sharing with you this experience. And you please also share your experiences at work, because staff are starting to get used to a total quality management model. They're not yet used and they're not yet ready to be fully empowered for creativity and innovation. I would be afraid not to achieve any target because they don't have any objectives, rather than achieving much more than the limited objectives to them. So they're not yet ready for a full total quality management model. When people are so empowered, so active, so involved, they have ownership, they feel that the organization is theirs, they're so happy at work and they want to create more and more, don't limit them with MBOs. But if they don't know exactly what they want to achieve, it's better to have set MBOs for them. And with time, you create this innovation and creativity. In the MBO form that we have at the university, we have a section called other achievements during the year and other innovative ideas where they can add. So they start getting used to the culture of, yes, we can be much more creative than, and not limited to certain MBOs. Self-improvement, encouragement, pride, and take action, as we've mentioned before. The other guru of quality management, or person who created the quality management, is called the Juren. And the Juren, he followed what Deming set the base. Juren came and created other stuff, and he focused on a model called Juren's trilogy, 3 steps: quality planning, quality control, quality improvement. So it's very similar to Deming. There is no step that says here implementation or the do, but it goes within the first and the second step. but it's good to know that one of the founders of quality management is Joseph Juran. In addition to Deming and Juran, studying quality management, you should always be familiar with the names Crosby, Masaki Imai, Feigenbaum, whom we said he compiled the concept of total quality management, Taguchi, and Ishikawa. These 3, 5, 6, 7 names, including Juran and Deming, you should always know the main concepts that they created. The most important, to sum up all these researchers' theories, the most important point that Crosby focused on is that 0 defects. There are no defects allowed. And he says that 0 defects happen by prevention. And his book is so nice, and I recommend you to read it, called Quality is Free. He says that if everyone does his work by preventing defects and doing it right first time, then there is no need to have a quality department, no need for inspection, and no need to pay and invest for quality. That's why this is the concept of the book, Quality is Free. Masaki Imai, he's a Japanese. His very well-known book that I also recommend you to read it. I got it with me to Cyprus, by the way. I'm reading it again now. It's called Gemba Kaizen. Gemba in Japanese means the workplace, and Kaizen means continuous improvement. So he says, keep improving in Gemba, in the workplace. So that's why it's called Gemba Kaizen. And he always say, which I like, that contradicts a bit with Deming, by the way, if you want to mix and match in your company. He says, eliminate muda, mura, and muri. In Japanese, muda means wasteful activities that are waste, processes that no need to do it. How many times we did some processes at work and some steps that we think it's useless, I would have avoided this and not do it. Mura, same thing, the inconsistencies in the system, the defects in the system, and muri, the physical strains, like for example, avoiding muri in education is the online learning that we are doing right now. Why would I bring you all to the university and drive to the university and travel to the university if I can give you the class online? So this is muri that we are avoiding at the university here. Feigenbaum also is known that that quality is everyone's job. So if you're doing any research and you want to compile 2 theories, Crosby's and Feigenbaum, they come very parallel. That quality is free if it's everyone's job. Taguchi is more about statistics and inspection, and Ishikawa is known for his fishbone diagram that you can use in your companies. I really recommend, if you want to write a project that would help you at work, to use Ishikawa's fishbone diagram, where he says that every problem, if it's the effect, is caused by 6 main causes: equipment, processes, people or employees, material, environment, and management. And there are secondary causes and primary causes. If you put all these causes of a certain problem, you'll be able to know the problems exactly, and you will be able to avoid them. Okay. This is a summary about TQM and the main concepts. We tried to analyze some of the concepts and to think from a critical perspective about them. And I would like you to know that it started in manufacturing, and then it gradually moved to the service industry, and it gradually moved to public organizations like education. Alexandra and Mary, we're both in education. Education is considered with healthcare as the last areas that total quality management moved to them. And this would be our topic for tomorrow, and mainly the way they were rejected in public sector, and how quality management wasn't actually recommended in education, although many schools and universities, they follow quality management, but it was really challenged, and it faced a lot of problems to be implemented in public organizations like healthcare and education. So this would be our topic for tomorrow if you'd like to attend, talking about education specifically. To apply quality management, and because many countries after Japan and the USA and the Western developed countries and then the developing countries, many many countries were starting to provide quality awards, like Malcolm Baldrige National Quality Award. It's a European award, like EFQM. It's American award, MBNQA. European Foundation for Quality Management Award. It's the EFQM award. This is an award that shows that the organization is applying total quality management. Australian Quality Award, Dubai Quality Award in the Arab region. ISO is based on quality management, Six Sigma, of course. Now, all these awards have main concepts and criteria that are very similar to each others. For example, and they are mainly based on EFQM. EFQM was one of the first quality awards provided. It started in Europe, providing quality awards to European countries, and then it opened to give the chance to different countries to apply for this European award. As you see, the EFQM award main criteria is based on the 7 principles that we started with them talking about quality management. So if EFQM visits you to get awarded as an organization, you have to prove, in summary, you have to prove that as you have enablers to get the results. And these enablers are leadership. You have to prove that you have leadership. People, they use the same concept of Deming's people when in terms of employees. Strategy, and this means that the theory is applied and it's cascaded to all the organization. Partnership and resources, and the processes and products and services. And they check all of these and how they are reflected on your results in terms of people results. And here, people results is employee satisfaction and development, customers results, society results, impact on the society, and business results in terms of production. The awards that came after, they all came similar to EFQM. And by the way, EFQM, they follow a logic called radar logic. Radar, it means required, what's required, approaches, D for deploy, assess and refine, and this is similar to the check in PDCA, and then your results, you get the results. So it's very similar to PDCA in different words. It's based on PDCA, in fact. They look if you're applying the radar logic to give you the EFQM award. Okay. This is Malcolm Baldrige National Quality Award. It's an American award provided to American companies. Look at the enablers and the results. Also, they have the 7 main points as in EFQM that are based on the 7 principles of TQM. Australian Quality Award, same thing. Customers, processes, performance, leadership. UAE Quality Awards. In the UAE, they provide many awards for the shopping in Dubai experience, for the government excellence, for human resources, for human development. And they have something called Dubai Quality Award. It's based on EFQM, and it follows exactly the same criteria of EFQM. It's not very clear here, I don't know why, but anyway, it's very similar. The 9 criteria, also enablers, results, the same exactly as EFQM, because the UAE model is actually based on the European model. So even the awards, they are similar in the UAE. For ISO, also ISO 9000-2008, it's based on proving that the organization is applying quality management. In ISO, they focused on standardization, trust, showing quality, and it's provided to different industries, starting from manufacturing, going through services, accounting, legal and financial servicing, computer education. All of these are provided, all these industries are provided within the ISO award. Okay, these are the sections within the ISO. If an organization wants to apply for ISO, looking for quality management, resources, product realization, they focus on processes, on principles, politics, etc. Okay. Six Sigma. Six Sigma is also an award that requests from organizations to show that they only have 3.4 defects per million opportunities. 3.4 defects, and there's more. Like in healthcare and in airlines, they request even 8 Sigma, where 0 defects are allowed, because you cannot say, for example, in 1 million flights, 3.4 are allowed to crash. This doesn't work. So some even require more efficiency and more and less defects. Six Sigma is based on PDCA. If you look here, define, measure, analyze, improve, control. So it's also a cycle. So the quality awards really helped organizations to improve. And these are examples of the latest awards provided. RTA in Dubai, Road and Transport Authority, Bosch. It's also provided in education, University for Business and Technology, UBT. We have Dubai Police, different organizations that take the award. Even for Malcolm Badge National Quality Award in healthcare, it's provided, non-profit in the public service industry, education. So what I'm trying to tell you that total quality management and its awards are applicable to different industries, small businesses, big businesses, non-profit organizations. They can all apply total quality management and get awarded by a quality management award. Quality management has really helped organizations, and many organizations got very high awards in terms of proving that they apply total quality management, whether they are private or public organizations. Mostly, if you study cases about quality management, most of the public and private organizations had increase in the internal and external customer satisfaction. The resources were reduced, they improved the performance and strengthened the values within the organization. These are generally the main achievements that were done by applying total quality management. So these are the benefits that I would sum up for organizations that apply quality management. And please stop me if you do not agree or if you question one of the benefits. First, it reduces defects, because if you have a system, management system from the very beginning that would help you to achieve high quality, then defects will automatically be reduced instead of inspecting them or instead of putting rules and regulations on staff to avoid it, like in quality assurance. Problem solving, it helps in solving the problems. You would use less Ishikawa's fishbone diagram because you will have less problems to face. Continuous improvement, of course, with PDCA. Customer satisfaction, whether internal or external, they would be happy when you empower them, when you have leadership, when you have a nice corporate culture that you put effort to do, as in total quality management. Because in some organizations, these are already there, but in others, they are not. And if you don't put effort, you cannot have them and you cannot maintain them if they are there. Improve business from top to bottom. Lazarus, you're saying increased productivity also because of the improvement of the process. Yes, absolutely. It increases productivity because if the whole process is being done appropriately and people are happy in doing it, then at the end of the day, productivity would be better. Customer satisfaction, tools and techniques for improvement, then you will have a nice quality operating system because there are always areas of improvement, but it's important how we deal with them, collect feedback and how we deal with the feedback in order to take corrective action. What the customers want, experience a better experience for them. Intrinsic motivation, it automatically improved. People started doing their work because they're happy doing it. They are proactive, less wastes. Ownership. What is ownership? Would anyone like to tell me what is ownership? Ownership is a key word in quality management, by the way. Taking responsibility of our work. Yes, Lazarus, this is absolutely true. It is. It's like, if you want to make it simple, as if you own the company, you own the work, you own your processes, and you work as if it's yours. That's why in quality management, they always recommend the staff to write their processes, to write their policies, and to write their procedures and processes. Because when you write your process and procedure, you commit to it, you own it, and you take responsibility, as Lazarus said. Everyone will be educated about the system. Good customer-supplier relationship, market competitiveness, which means improvement in productivity. Okay. The last thing that we will discuss today is the obstacles of total quality management. Okay, it's nice, it's a good model, but it also faces obstacles and the challenges. And I'd really, after doing a lot of research in quality management, I'd really like to sum up and summarize for you. If you work in quality management and quality assurance, like Aristides, like also Andreas, it's very important to avoid these few points that I'll talk about them in order to have success with total quality management, because it's not magic. If there is no proper planning, you would face a lot of problems and you will not have a successful quality management model. There should be proper planning. You should know where you're going. And this starts by a clear strategy with clear goals and objectives to be achieved and people to know what they're doing. Inadequate use of empowerment and teamwork. Be careful when you empower and do and apply teamwork. This point is the reason why I'm telling you, as a quality management dean at MUBS, we gave people MBOs and we do the appraisal, not evaluation. We name it appraisal for the sake of empowerment, but they have objectives. So to know the limit of empowerment and teamwork when people are not ready yet. Yes, you should give them. Here, the problem would be inadequate of empowerment and teamwork, but at the same time, I would say know how to manage it and how to balance in order to have proper and successful experience. The culture is so important. People should know that you are having a culture of quality management and you want to achieve quality management. Let them accept the change and go through the change. The organizational structure should be interrelated. No departments should feel that they are isolated in order to be part of the whole system. You should always measure, and the best measurement way is to collect feedback, to collect data. Data is so important because during the implementation, keep collecting data in order to check. If you don't have any data, you don't have any feedback forms, you cannot check in order to take corrective action. Give attention to internal customers, same as external customers. Your employees are so important. Please don't forget that. keep improving, never stop, because you will go down, and hire people who are expert and have the knowledge in the area that they are working in. Business experience and knowledge is so important to avoid mistakes. And the last obstacle that faces TQM, and I want you to be careful about it, and Lazarus talked about it, and I also did at the beginning, that don't take one narrow approach. Don't say I'll follow purely Deming's approach or Crosby or the whole 7 principles. Prioritize what is important, as Lazarus said, and compile and match between different models in order to create the model that fits into your organization that you are working in. Other challenges that face TQM are mostly cross-cultural, because people come from different cultures. If people come from different cultures, be careful to make them all belong to one culture, one community, which is the organization, and know how to deal with those cultures. We will talk more about this in details and how to avoid these obstacles in Thursday lecture if you'd like to attend, and how to face challenges like improper training, like improper change management, what we do to have better people accepting change and to go through proper change. So what we've done is in this lecture, we gave a summary about how quality management started with its main founders, how it developed, and at the same time, how quality awards were taken from the main quality management concepts, and what are the advantages of quality management and its benefits, and what are the obstacles, let's say, that we have. And on Thursday's lecture, we will talk more about how to deal with these challenges, and we'll talk more about some debatable ideas from a critical perspective with some cases as well. Any questions? Any questions or comments or ideas that you'd like to share with us? I'm glad that you were interacting with me during the lecture, giving your opinion and sharing some experience with us. But if you have further questions, please feel free to ask. Very structured lecture. Thank you for all the points. Thank you, Lazarus. It's my pleasure. Okay, I hope that you enjoyed the lecture and you've gained some more knowledge about quality management and how to benefit from it. It was a great pleasure to be giving you this lecture, and I look forward to seeing you in tomorrow's lecture if you're interested in quality management and education and higher education. And we'll continue further points, especially the debatable points, on Thursday. I recommend that you attend Thursday's lecture because it's going to be mainly about how to deal with quality management from a critical perspective. So if you want to write a research paper, how to think about advantages and disadvantages and modifications in quality management as well. Thank you so much. Yeah, okay, thank you.
Thank you, everyone. You can see as Rato has posted now on the chat, you can see all the lectures in the post, in the link that Rato just put there. We thank again Professor Rabah for her very interesting lecture today. I'm sure the following 4 lectures that are coming in the next following 3 lectures that are coming in the next 3 days are going to be very interesting. Again, the lectures on Wednesday and Friday are more geared towards education. So if that's the areas where you are coming from and you are interested in seeing, those will be of special interest to you. And the more broad assessment of quality models will continue on Thursday. Let me emphasize that tomorrow's lecture will be hybrid format. So if you want to come to our venue, feel free to come and follow the talk from here. We thank again Professor Rabah. We thank you all for following and coming tonight, and we hope to see you again not only Thursday, but if you can, also on Wednesday and Friday. Thank you, everyone, and have a good night.
Thank you, Professor Deval. Thank you all. Bye-bye.